Hey boardies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. This is all about the ratings of various reviewers. Reviewers that I've seen have reviewed thousands typically of games, which includes myself. And I want to let you know about their ratings compared to me and also how many games they have actually reviewed too. Now, I did make this list a number of years ago, about 3 or so this might be out slightly, but I have checked recently and most things are up to date. So let's start with the most famous one, in my opinion, I think everyone would agree with this, would be Tom Vassell. His rating is a 6.45 based on over 7,500 reviews, which is now about 9,000 reviews. And it's changed only by 0.01 of a difference. So very little change going on there. The Purge, never met The Purge. I don't know much about The Purge. 6.7 average rating based on 2,500 reviews. We've got Jimmy Stigmeyer, there's a designer here, but has reviewed 921 games when I check this out. Average rating 7.46, which I think makes sense in some respects for a designer because they're trying to maybe seek out certain stuff. Z Garcia, obviously part of the Dice Tower too, average rating 5.96, having reviewed over 2,500, I think it's over 3,000 now at time of recording, board games. Radho, and we do know he often does give high ratings. We are aware that he does be very selective. But anyway, 8.33 based on, it's got 353 reviews here. I'm sure it's more than that. Mike Delicio, also from the Dice Tower, 7.39, it's also high, based on 750 board game reviews. Dan King, who I have communicated with as well, so Z, you can see me in a game with, which is behind me, Jin, just had a shot. I think it's there, anyway. And that is going to be hitting the table soon. And that is over on Instagram too. And various other photos with Tom Vassell as well. So anyway, Dan King rating 6.96, previous to the Dice Tower, and he's reviewed 3,255 games. So what's my rating? So it's changed very little as well, very, very similar to Tom Vassell's in fact. 6.44 and 6.45, 6.41. So it's extremely similar to Tom Vassell, strangely enough, based on about 3,000 board game reviews, about 3,600 if you include expansions. And yeah, so very similar. Interesting to hear about that in my opinion, because I know my ratings can be fairly low compared to some, and that doesn't mean a game is bad. Obviously compare against the average, which is why I always mention XYZ game, for example. I know I've got Meadow behind me, I've got various other games behind me. Amalfi I give an 8 out of 10. In some respects that's worth a lot more because my rating for an average game is a bit lower. Now I try to play every game I can. I never kind of say no to anything typically, and I always want to try everything out, and I always try and give a game a second chance. I also typically try and play games all player counts and all different factions, etc. too. And I'm aware that if you look under the amount of times people have logged to play or actually have played a game, I'm fairly high up on most lists as well. And that's just fortuitous that I've been very fortunate to know so many people who are able to arrange to game and play with me. But you can check more about that out, of course, over on Instagram in terms of my monthly logs plays. So, in terms of where do I think my rating is going to go in the future, we never know. I never know when I pick up a game, when I play it, if it's going to be good. Most games I'm typically am very impressed with, though. I'm amazed how good a game can be. It is cutthroat out there. My average rating is high for the more complex games, but I don't play as many of them, so maybe it's more of the select few coming out. But also for the highest rated games, typically they are quite low party games in terms of low complexity. However, some of my lowest rated games are also low complexity party games. So there's select few which are really, really good, such as No Thanks, etc. So by all means do check that out as well. But again, speak again soon. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments. Check out the podcast too. Back to the table.